Good morning. It is Wednesday, Gentle Yoga. Even though I'm on vacation this week, I'm still bringing you yoga not every day, but all the days that we've got scheduled. This is mudra for this week, Citta Mudra. This is the gesture of witness consciousness or awakening of the inner witness. That sounds kind of strange, like, what does that mean? Well, we take this mudra when we want to connect with our inner self, when we want to challenge our own limiting beliefs, and we want to develop our intuition. So this is an opportunity when we take this mudra to turn inward and to be kind to ourselves and to think good things of ourselves and develop our own self of goodness about ourselves, develop our own self-esteem and self-confidence. By taking this mudra, you can release tension from your neck and shoulders and improve your mental clarity. So we're also going to be using this mudra today to, kind of waken up our mind and how it works. And the way you take this mudra is you take your finger and your thumb and you put them together and you kind of straighten out the top of your forefinger. Place the rest of your hands together like in prayer pose, right? So when you see it from the front, this is how the mudra looks. From the back, prayer pose. And when we take this mudra, we take it at the heart center, which reminds us to breathe, reminds us to be kind to ourselves, reminds us to lead with the heart in all that we do as we set our intentions. So today, expect that we're going to have some poses where we make contact with blocks or the floor with our head, the crown of our head, our forehead, perhaps some inverted positions with the head. Last night in Vinyasa, it was all inversions. But this is gentle yoga. We do things a little bit more calmly and gentle like yoga. So why don't we first start off on the mat? And of course, I have my yoga mug that Greg gave to me. Very excited. I love drinking out of this mug. So I prefer if you have a bolster or a block or a blanket to sit on first thing in the morning when we begin our meditation. And take easy Sukhasana pose. If this doesn't work for you, it's okay if you modify your positioning to find any pose that works well for you. But what I do invite is a nice long spine, tall, crown drawing up to the ceiling, shoulders floating back down, allowing free flow of movement up and down the spine of your energy and of your breath. Remembering we have all these energy chakras up and down the body. And we want the breath to flow freely. We want the energy to flow freely up and down. So taking that mudra again, let's bring it to heart center and close our eyes. And draw your attention to the third eye chakra. That is the chakra that aligns with this mudra. And begin to breathe in and out deeply, expanding the belly. And bringing the belly in on your exhalations. Inhale, draw the crown up, lift up the heart. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. As you inhale and you're exhaling, turn your attention inward to the third eye chakra. And take this opportunity to examine what kinds of beliefs you may have that are limiting. Maybe ask yourself why you hold those beliefs. How do those kinds of limiting beliefs serve you or harm you? Or maybe they don't serve you at all. In yoga, we often invite people to let go of that which no longer serves them. But sometimes it is difficult to determine when something is no longer serving us. Sometimes we need a little bit of distance to see that. And so when we take the time to meditate and find stillness away from the chatter of the world, away from the busyness of life, perhaps that provides you with that opportunity for that distance to examine these things. So I invite you throughout this practice today, as we move through poses, to take opportunity to ask yourself, what are my limiting beliefs? And do they still serve me? Take a long inhale. And on your exhale, place your hands on your lap, releasing the mudra, and gently open up your eyes. Find a fixed point off in the distance to focus your drishti gaze. Inhale, bring your hands out and up. And exhale, bring your hands out and down. Inhale, hands out and up. Exhale, out and down. And let's bring our hands out and up again. Bring them through Ajna, the third eye, through Vishuddha, the throat chakra, and back down to Anahata, the heart center. Take another long inhale and fully exhale. So we're going to release the bolster now if you're sitting on one. And we're going to move into some cow-cat opening of the spine. So find your tabletop position. Draw the crown of your head forward as you draw your shoulders back towards your hips, away from your ears. Engage your side waist muscles and pull your belly button into the spine. Inhale, lift up the heart center, lift up your sits bones on cow. And then on your exhale, curl your back up. Draw your back up to the ceiling, dropping your crown. Inhale, lift up the heart center, lift up your sits bone, draw your shoulders away from the ears. And then exhale into cat, reversing all of that, drawing your back up to the ceiling. Inhale, lift up the crown, draw your shoulders away, float your sit bones up. And then exhale, curl your back up to the ceiling. So let's do one more of those, lifting up the heart center, opening up the throat, floating the sit bones up. And then exhale, returning to neutral. Let's start off with child's pose to begin. Separate our knees, placing our toes together. And I invite you to take a block. I like to use these half blocks. Sit back on your heels and place your forehead on the block. And take this opportunity to assess, to take note. What does it feel like when you're stimulating your third eye by placing your forehead on the block? What kinds of sensations do you feel in that part of your face, and perhaps spreading out to the rest of your head, your space, your neck? Continue to breathe deeply, expanding the belly and contracting the belly. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and fully exhale. Let's release the block, place it back where it was. Let's reach our hands out far in front of us, stretching out the shoulders, beginning to open up your hips. Inhale, lift up slightly and take your right hand and thread it underneath your left arm. Lay across your right shoulder, twisting to the left. Maybe feeling a little bit of a pinch in the right hip. Feeling a little bit of a stretch along the back of the shoulder. Twisting poses are really great for stimulating our internal organs, for releasing stress, for calming the nervous system. Take another inhale. Exhale, take your right hand and place it up with your left hand, and then take your left hand and thread it underneath your right hand, laying across your left shoulder, twisting to the right. Take another inhale and exhale. Bring your left hand forward. And let's rise up on our elbows. And while our knees are already apart, let's kind of rise up in kind of a wide-legged tabletop, basically with our forearms on the floor. Let's bring our feet out in alignment with our hips. And then start to move into frog pose. So start to widen your knees. Move your hips slightly forward. And just gently start to open up the groin muscles. We're not going to stay here very long, but this part of the hips needs opening as well as other parts of the hips. Let's breathe here 2 more times. One more inhale. And then exhale, lift up and release out of that frog pose. Let's tuck our toes and sit back just for a moment, stretching out our feet. And then I would like you to reach back, grab your heels, and then fold over your legs, drawing your knees up towards your chest, pulling against your heels as you do so, and drop the crown of your head onto the mat. But your touching of your crown of your head to the mat, it's a gentle touch, so you're not smashing your crown into the mat. And then just continue to draw inward. Let's take one more inhale. And then exhale, release out of that. Rise up. Flatten out your feet and sit back on your heels. Inhale your hands up. And then exhale your hands down, clasping your hands together behind you. Straighten out your arms as you lift up your heart center. Maybe open up your throat. Draw your shoulders down your back. Take a nice inhale, lifting up the heart center. And then on your exhale, fold over your thighs. Bring your hands up and overhead. And once again, drop your crown to the floor as you take the seal of the yogi. Take one more inhale and exhale. And then inhale, rise up. Exhale, gently release that, feeling the opening of those shoulders. Now let's move into some sun salutations. So joining me at the top of the mat. So as I always say in my class, the top of my mat is the part that's facing my window, where these blocks are located, because I like to do my yoga on a round mat so that when you are at home doing my classes, you can easily see the poses. So let's take Tadasana pose. Tadasana is a nice strong pose. This is a pose where we can find ourselves grounded to the earth. Lift up all of your toes and feel the three main corners of the foot, the big toe mound, the little toe mound, and the heel, making firm contact with the floor. Now, spreading your toes out to send them one by one onto the mat. Create a slight softening of the knees so that you can engage your thigh muscles, and then engage your lower abdominal muscles. And then inhale your shoulders up and back down, turning your hands forward so that your shoulder blades will move close to the spine. Draw the shoulders down as you draw the crown of your head up. And feel the continued strength of this pose as you draw energy up from the earth, moving that energy up through the center of the body, through all the chakras, up to the crown. We're going to move into some half sun salutations. So inhale your hands up, and then exhale, bend your legs as you fold over them. Drop your hands, drop your toes. Inhale into a flat spine, moving the crown of your head forward. Exhale down. Inhale, reverse swan dive, bringing your hands out to the side and up. And then exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale your hands down, then inhale your hands up. Exhale, bending the legs slightly as we swan dive over your legs, dropping your hands. Inhale into a flat spine, exhaling down, and then inhale, reverse swan dive all the way back up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale the hands down. Inhale our hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward, drawing your heart center down, laying your body across your thighs as you drop your crown. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. Take your blocks and take your right foot back. Drop your right knee. Draw your blocks so that they're in alignment with your shoulders right underneath them. And inhale your heart center up. Exhale, replace those blocks back down. Place your hands on either side of your left foot. Bring your left knee back to join your right. Staying up high with your hips up high. Walk your hands forward in puppy dog pose. Draw your belly button into the spine and just walk your hands forward to start to stretch out your shoulders. Take an inhale. Exhale, rise up, grab your blocks, and take your right foot forward. Inhale your heart center up. And then exhale, tuck your toes and bring your left foot forward to join the right. Inhale into a flat spine, exhaling down. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale the hands down. Inhale your hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Drop your hands, drop your crown. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down and take your left foot back. Drop your left knee. Inhale your heart center up. And then exhale, take your right knee back to join the left. Drop the blocks and then inhale, walk your hands forward. Inhale. Exhale, rise up. Take your blocks and bring your left foot forward. Inhale your heart center up. And then exhale. Take your right foot forward to join the left. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale the hands down. Inhale your hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Drop your crown. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down and take your right foot back. Inhale your heart center up. Exhale. Bring left foot back to join your right and walk your hands forward. Inhale. Exhale, walking your hands back and taking your left foot forward. Oh, sorry, right foot forward. Inhale, heart center up. And then exhale, tuck your left toes. Bring left foot forward to join the right. Inhale into a flat spine and exhale down. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale the hands down. Inhale your hands up and exhale, swan dive forward. Drop your crown. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down and take your left foot back. Inhale your heart center up. Exhale, right knee back to join left. Walk your hands forward in puppy dog pose. Inhale. Exhale, rise up. And take your left foot forward to join. And then inhale, lift up the heart center. Exhale, bring right foot forward to join the left. Inhale into a flat spine and exhale down. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale the hands down. Inhale our hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down and take our right foot back. Inhale the heart center up. Exhale, take left knee back to join the right. And walk your hands forward. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, rise up. And then on your exhale, take your right foot forward. Inhale into a flat spine. Inhale, lifting up the heart center. Exhale, tuck the toes. Left foot forward to join right. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. Inhale, reverse swan dive. All the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale your hands down. Inhale your hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Drop your crown. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. Take your left foot back. Inhale your heart center up. Exhale. Take right knee back to join the left and walk your hands forward. Inhale. Exhale, rise up and take our left foot forward. Inhale, lift up our heart center. And then exhale, take right foot forward to join the left. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhaling down. Inhale, reverse all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. So let's go to the front of the mat. And something we don't often do in our gentle class is standing poses where we engage in a forward fold. So let's inhale our hands up. Exhale, bring them to heart center. And let's just widen our feet slightly so that we have them about a hip width distance apart. So inhale our hands up again. And then on your exhale, bend your knees and just fold over your legs. Just drop your crown and feel what it's like to just remain in this position for kind of longer than our normal, inverted. You can leave your legs deeply bent. You can widen your feet more if you want to. Why don't we clasp our elbows initially and just use this as an opportunity to draw tension out of the neck, out of the upper back, using the weight of your cranium to ease your tension. Maybe you can shake your head from side to side, nod it yes and no. Maybe you can release your hands and start to sway back and forth. And then bend your knees deeply, and on your inhale, start to roll up the spine. Keep your arms heavy. Keep your crown of your head turning downward, chin towards the chest. When you arrive at the top, inhale your shoulders up to the ears. Then lift up the crown of your head and inhale your hands up and overhead. And then on your exhale, chin to chest and start to curl back down. Allow your arms to be heavy as you go down, bending your legs. And then inhale, curl up. Deep knee in the bends, stacking one vertebrae at a time as we roll up. Inhale, bring up the shoulders. As you lift up the crown of your head, exhale down. Inhale your hands up. And then exhale, let's do that again. Bring chin to chest and curl the body down.
And just allow yourself to hang here for a moment. Now let's widen our feet a little bit more and squat down in Malasana. So in Malasana, if you find it difficult to hold your body in this position, you can take a block and you can place it underneath your bum. I find that I prefer these shorter blocks for those kinds of props and support. It really depends on how high up your hips are. But the idea behind this pose, of course, is that we are allowing our hips to sink as deeply as they can. So you can even turn your feet out even more. And then what I would like you to do is draw the crown of your head up as you draw your shoulders down. And just allow gravity to do the work here of drawing your hips down as you hold your hands together and prayer at the chest. You can use your elbows to encourage the knees to spread wide. You can even lift up higher on the knees with those elbows to have a nice long spine. The taller your spine, the more your hips are able to open. Take another inhale. And then on your exhale, let's start to curl down. So bring your arms on the inside of your legs. Drop your hands to the floor. Now we have a couple of options here. We're going to move further down. If you have the mobility to do this, you can actually put your elbows on the floor. But honestly, even my elbows don't reach the floor. They kind of hover above it. So I'm placing my elbows on a set of blocks in front of me. And I'm just curling my body down. Dropping my crown. Chin is close to my chest, and I'm just rounding my body in to this Malasana pose. Maybe if you even want, you can place the blocks out in front of you just a little bit. Place your hands together in prayer, elbows on the blocks, and place this prayer pose above your head. Take one more inhale. And then exhale, let's start to release out of that. And I have one more fun pose for you. So let's bring our feet together, bring our heels together, and rise up on our toes, but widen our knees, sort of like, remember when we played rabbit or grasshopper when we were kids? So it's very much like that. Place your hands on the floor in front of you. They can be even closer to your legs. And then I want you to curl down again. So use your elbows to widen your legs and provide support. And then draw your shoulders onto your spine as you drop your crown and curl down again. So I'm using my elbows to widen my legs. I'm up high on my toes, kind of. My heels are touching one another. And my crown is descending towards the floor. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, rise up. And let's find our way back to our seated position. And then take Vadokanasana or bound angle pose. And in your bound angle pose, what I want you to do is press the soles of your feet together as you draw your knees down, lifting up your heart center. And if you want to even encourage that more, you can place your hands behind you, lift up the heart center, and push your feet together so that you can widen your knees down towards the floor. Continue to use the tension of pressing your feet together and drawing your knees down to begin to open up the inside of your hips. And then use this as an opportunity to lift up the heart center, open up the throat. Take one more inhale. Exhale, release that down. And let's slide our feet out in front of us. Still staying in this bound angle. But now we have a nice kind of open diamond. So hold on to your feet or your ankles. Draw your elbows back as you draw your heart center forward and begin to fold forward. I've placed my hands on the outside as well. That feels good. This is a very satisfying pose. And you can have a little bit of a bend in the back. Just be careful not to overextend your spine. You don't want to put stress on those facet joints, those tiny little joints that connect your vertebrae. What we really want is for the stretch to be along the back of the hip. So where I want you to feel this is right back here, kind of right where your hips and your legs meet. I don't want you to really feel this much in your back. If you do, just lift up your heart center and maybe back out of the pose just a little bit. Take another nice inhale. Exhale, rise up. Now I introduced folks in my vinyasa to fire log last night. We're going to try that this morning. I realize this is a gentle yoga class and fire log is kind of an intensive pose, but it is a pose that burns away energies. And maybe when we burn away a little bit of that energy, we can clear the mind and free it up so that we can become more deeply introspective. So place your shins so that they're going to be parallel with the front of the mat. And so the way I'm sitting is both of my sit bones are in firm contact with the floor, just like I do in Pigeon. This is actually called full Pigeon. I'm going to place my left foot towards the right with my left knee to the left. And I'm going to take my right foot and cross it over my left knee. So initially, this is going to feel a little bit awkward. If you find it's difficult, you can always place a block underneath this leg to support it. Or you can lift up your body so that your hips are sitting on the block. This is kind of awkward the way I'm doing this. Okay, so that way it may not feel so uncomfortable for you. If you find that it is difficult for you, it's acceptable if you just sit in Sukhasana. And then you can really work Sukhasana a little bit so that you can widen the legs. But in this pose, what I'd like you to do is flex your feet so that your toes are drawing back towards your knees. Lift up the heart, lift up the crown. And what you want to see when you look down at your legs is a triangle. And then if you
find that you can, you start to move your feet forward just a little bit so that you're opening up the hips, opening up the knees a little bit. And we're just going to sit in this pose like this for just a few breaths. Sit up nice and tall, giving your hips space to open up. Now, when I'm nice and open, I can actually fold over my legs. But it's 6 o'clock in the morning and I'm not nice and open. Well, it's not 6 o'clock anymore, it's 5 after 7. But I'm not nice and open at first thing in the morning. But last night for vinyasa, my body was beautifully open and I was able to fold deeply into this pose. But this morning, it ain't happening. That's okay. We honor where the body is. And we still think in terms of possibilities and expansion wherever we are in that moment in time. So that's one of the challenging beliefs that we may have, or limiting beliefs, is that, well, during this time of the day, I can't do this or I can't do that because my body isn't warmed up and my body isn't ready. But another way to flip that dynamic or flip that perspective is, in the morning, it's a wonderful opportunity to move slowly through my practice, honoring the body where it's at and still getting the wonderful benefits. An opportunity to turn inward, to slow down, to reduce our intensity. And that's good. And you can still have a beautiful practice that starts off your day in a healthy way, gently opening up the body. Take a nice inhale. And then exhale fully, release that breath. And let's gradually change our position and switch sides. So we're going to lift up our left ankle and release it. Place our right leg underneath, shin parallel to the mat. Take our left ankle and cross it over our right knee. You may lift up a little bit, wiggle out your hips so that your sits bones are in firm contact with the floor, equal contact. And then look down and see, do I have that nice triangle? You may not initially. You may be in fire log pose and may find that you have to have your feet bent more in and increase the angle at your knee joint. It's all okay. We're working towards something. It's a process, it's a journey. So if any of you watched my Instagram last night and my Facebook page, I put up a funny video because last night in practice, I thought for the first time, I'm going to introduce our students to the wonders of a headstand. Well, I hardly ever do headstands. And honestly, even the simplest of headstand does require a lot of core strength in the body to lift up and out of it without wall support. And I didn't have wall support and I fell out of it twice before I got it right for the class. And, you know, we have to have a little bit of humor. So part of our limiting beliefs may be, if I cannot engage in the full expression of a pose with perfection, I shouldn't do it. No. You should try everything. Even if you're only doing a portion of that pose, preparing you to one day realize the fullness of that pose. That's okay too. You're still benefiting. You're still benefiting from the journey, from getting to know what your body can and can't do, from turning inward and learning about yourself. You're still strengthening. You're still lengthening. You're still breathing. So if you find yourself in a yoga class where the students around you are doing things that you don't feel you can fully do yet, that's okay. You can do a version. You can do a portion of it, or you can do whatever you want. It's your practice. So I say, use these as wonderful opportunities to challenge whatever your beliefs are. We've sat in this dialogue long enough, so I'm going to release out of this pose. And let's windshield wipe our legs to kind of release the tension from our hips. So take our feet about hip width apart. And let's just go back and forth gently, releasing any tension from those hips. Very nice. And since we're already on the floor, why don't we, I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me. Why don't we use this as an opportunity to do some boat poses, okay? So instead of doing full Navasana, where we lift up the legs, we're just going to keep our legs on the floor. You can start off placing your hands on your knees and lift up your heart center, and then move your whole back and head back. So creating that letter V with your legs, with your body, drawing the belly button in, drawing the shoulders back, feeling the strength of your abdominal muscles working. Take a nice inhale, and then exhale, fold over your legs. Release that tension. And then inhale, rise up, place your hands parallel to the mat, your arms parallel, I'm sorry. Draw your arm bones back in alignment with your shoulders. And then float back again, crown or the back of your head in alignment with your spine, drawing your shoulders onto your spine, but pulling your belly button in. Feeling the strengthening of those muscles. Take one more inhale, and then exhale. Fold over, drop your crown. And then inhale, sit up. Place your hands or your arms parallel to the floor. Draw your arm bones back into the shoulders. Draw the shoulders back onto your back, close to the spine. Take an inhale. And then exhale. Lean back again. And if you want to, take your feet off the floor this time, or you can keep them on the floor. It's okay. Take an inhale. Exhale, release that all down. Fold over your legs. And now let's lay down. Extend out your left leg. Take your right knee and draw it up against your right shoulder. Just hugging it tightly, maybe feeling a little bit of a pinch in that hip. And then your right big toe, wrap your right index finger and thumb around it. And if you can, straighten it out so it's up overhead. Use this as a chance also to draw your shoulder back down. Take a nice inhale. And then on your exhale, start to allow your right leg to fall to the right. You can bend it if you need to. Try to keep your left hip firmly tacked onto the floor. So have this moment of honesty with yourself about whether or not you can go very close to the floor with your right leg. Because if your left hip is lifting up, then no, you can't really go any further. Take an inhale, fully exhale, and then inhale, lift up your leg. And maybe straighten out your leg, placing your left hand or both of your hands behind your leg, and just supporting your leg as you stamp the ceiling with your heel. Take an inhale, and then exhale. Lower your right leg down and take your left knee into your chest, drawing it up against your left shoulder. Hugging it nice and tight. And then go ahead and grab your left toe with your index finger and your thumb. Straighten out that leg above you. Take a nice inhale. And then on your exhale, start to allow your left leg to fall to the left, hovering over the floor. Keeping your right hip tacked down. Take one more inhale. Exhale fully. Using your inhale, bring that foot up again. Take your left hand and your right hand, clasp them together behind your left leg. Straighten out your left leg and stamp the ceiling. And then descend your left leg down, allowing it to go onto the floor. Let's take our feet in Vadokanasana in this reclined position. And again, allow the hips to gently open up. And I have one more hip opener for you. So let's place our feet on the floor hip distance apart. Cross our right leg over the left and then twist to the left, keeping both shoulders on the floor. Allowing your knees to fall to the left. You should feel an opening of the top of your right hip while you're doing this. Take one more long inhale and exhale. Inhale, rise up. Place your right foot down on the floor, cross your left leg over your right leg, and then drop your legs to the right. Take one more inhale. Fully exhale. And then inhale. Bring your knees back up. Uncross your legs. And let's find our way into Shavasana. So in Shavasana, I invite you to find full stillness, scanning your body from top to bottom, looking for any places of tension and of stress, and fully release it. Look for any parts of the body where the breath may be stuck, maybe is not moving as freely. Tell those parts to relax so that the breath can move freely up and down. Start to slow down your breathing. Start to slow down your heart rate. While you lay here, consider all of your possibilities, all of the promise that lay ahead of you. Release any attachment to self-limiting thoughts. Try to replace what seem like challenges with thoughts of opportunities. I invite you to lay in Shavasana 5 minutes or longer. Thank you for joining me this morning. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can be notified of future videos. The light in me sees the light in you. The yogi in me honors the yogi in you. Namaste.